But this is my next question. What are the most common causes of chronic illnesses that you've seen?
So obviously, I have a bias of working on the gut, but I think it's fair to say that 90 to 95% of people, whatever their condition is, whether it's primarily a gut related condition or their experience as a symptom, thyroid, headache, fatigue, and they may not have any gut
Hmm.
issues, that if I approach wellness looking for hidden infections, toxins, and approaching through the gut, I get about a 90 to 95% rate of reversing disease in individuals. So, um, really, it just goes back to what is the cause of disease? The cause of disease is the inability to adapt to stressors. What are stressors? These are hidden infections and toxins,
Environmental.
environmental toxins, also emotions. What does that
Yes.
cause? It causes inflammation, and inflammation is what leads to the illness experience that you have. Because you can find healthy people and you can find these toxins and infections. They don't have the experience. They're likely not experiencing the inflammatory response or immune dysregulation that the sick people are.
Since you brought up autoimmune diseases, do you, as a professional clinician, do you feel that thyroid, since so many women and men are being diagnosed with Hashimoto's disease, Graves' disease,
Mhm.
are these diseases caused by leaky gut?
Yeah, so there is research, and from a clinical standpoint, I do see correlation between increased intestinal permeability or leaky gut and autoimmunity of the thyroid. And the major belief is so in leaky gut, there's a permeable membrane which between the blood and your gut, where the gut will absorb nutrients, but when there is inflammation in the gut, this membrane, which has what's called tight junctions, becomes disrupted and porous. And so things that shouldn't enter the bloodstream, such as food protein particles, certain toxic elements
So
that
it's these environmental or et cetera. These stressors are entering in the gut and causing this. Is that
yes.
what you're saying?
Yeah, so whatever, our mouth and our butt is the only thing that reaches
Yeah.
the outside world,
Yeah, yeah,
from
yeah.
either end. And so, when we consume these things and we have our own microbiome, we want to keep it separate from the rest of our body, especially the circulatory system where inflammation, the immune response will occur. So when these things pass through the gut blood barrier, there is an immune response, and specifically with thyroid, it's thought to believe that their immune system is called molecular mimicry. The immune system mistakes the gluten protein for thyroid hormone. And so when there is an immune response against the gluten protein, if there is molecular mimicry, the immune system can actually attack the thyroid gland.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
it's a lot. And it's more than that, too.
Can you tell us the more?
Yeah, let me just take a sip real quick.
Yes, please.
The more is also epigenetics and genetic
I'm s-
expression.
I'm so fascinated with epigenetics.
Because really, unless you're born with a genetic condition, a lot of things that come later is through some sort of trigger that causes genetic expression of disease symptoms. And so there are certain genes and genetic sequences that leave people more inclined or they might be more at risk to develop things like Crohn's disease or things like Hashimoto's, but it requires a trigger. And actually, if you Google any autoimmune disease and you'll see what are the causes, on almost all of them, you're going to find infection or trauma of some kind, and then you're going to get a bunch of other
Oh, the
things.
body keeps score.
hmm
The
So,
body keeps score.
so that triggering aspect is what that inflammatory aspect is what can cause these genes to begin to express, develop their own proteins. A lot of the times in the forms of antigens attacking your own body.
So what you're saying is people are genetically
We
predisposed,
all are. Yeah.
like schizophrenia. You might have the gene,
hmm
but it's not activated,
Yes.
until something happens and it's activated and that's it. So it's
And
the same concept.
and that's why I encourage people that this truly is wellness care, because you may not even be at the point of expression, but I can dive into your gut, figure out what is out of balance there, and I can take care of those things before these triggers go off. And so really it is a wellness care agenda. Yes, we do help people that are sick, but you're going to do yourself a favor if you just work with someone in vitalism and functional medicine even before you get sick, just for wellness. Because in Western medicine, wellness care falls short. Once
It
you get
does.
sick, they're there for you because,
Yeah, big
that's the
pharma
incentive.
again.
Yeah. So, and it's not the doctor's fault. It's just the system that they got put in.
Sometimes it can be.
Well,
I mean,
to each case,
I'm,
yeah.
already know my personality and
Mhm.
what I bring to the platform. Let's be real here. Not all doctors are that honest.
Oh, of course not.
And so it's the unfortunate piece. But that's why I want everybody to know about you, because it's just a different approach, and it's a more honest approach and a more, holistic approach, which I know that my audience loves that.